Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. And I wanted to do a quick video for you and share a little bit what has come forward in the last week, and as well as perhaps we might connect a little bit with the violet beings that have been coming forward and giving us a little bit of more information on what's happening. So today's Tuesday, June 16th. And one of the things that was mentioned was that there's this sheen that's around the earth that's distorted. It's filled with pollution. And what they're saying is it looks beautiful on the surface, but underneath it, it is not. And we're going to be bumping up against our own programs with this because people are trying to use us against each other. And to be still and only unite in love. So again, it's these messages keep coming forward about half truths, half lies, and really going and believing only those things that are really for the benefit of all beings. When you're believing half truths, it's not helpful. So especially during this time when there's so much happening. And for the US here, we're in the political election is coming up, presidential election in November. So there's lots of lies and false advertising that is being put out there by both sides. And so we have to be really careful and really look at things. And also not feed into the programs that we have. So one of the things I wanted to mention really quick is this idea of programs. And I know everyone talks about this all the time, but this is something that is really hurtful. And I can tell you from experience, I've had experience with two that have devastated my life many times over. And you are probably familiar with them too. One of them I call stubbornness, and the other one I call self-defeating. It's like a self-defeating program, and then there's a stubbornness program. And there's many others. But the stubbornness program basically just stops you from hearing or seeing anything, no matter if you find yourself open-minded or not. I know that my mom prides herself on her stubbornness, and there's a lot of people who do. And if you're into astrology, you know, Tauruses are known to be stubborn, but it's not to our benefit when we are stubborn, when we don't stop and listen. And that's what's happened with, I think, a lot of white men and women who have not listened to our Black brothers and sisters, and we haven't heard. It's like it just stops, right? It stopped us from listening and hearing. And so this is a real program. It is not who we really are. It's not who you really are. And when you recognize it as such, when you see it as a program, a true program, then that automatically dispels the whole program when you have that recognition and that consciousness of it. So be aware of stubbornness. It's not something to be proud of. And it is passed on via DNA. It is a program. And so that's something that once you recognize, then it will move away. As long as you replace it with loving things and keeping an open mind and reminding yourself it is a program. The same with the self-defeating behavior. Everybody has it. Feelings of worthiness, feeling that, oh, maybe somebody doesn't like me, or I don't like them, or I'm not valuable. Anything that makes you feel less than is a program, and it's this self-defeating program. And I know there are many therapists and psychologists out there that work on this. It's not my expertise, but this is just what was coming forward from spirit, was this whole idea of be careful, watch the programs, and really recognize who you truly are. That's what they really want you to know, is that you are not these programs. You are not stubborn. You are not self-defeating. You are this beautiful being and who has such wisdom and light and love in you to share. So remember that. Remember how amazing you are. Remember also how amazing we are together. I see that time and time again, just this whole movement to really desystematizing racial prejudice and the policing and all of that here in the US. It's amazing what people are doing together to create this. And yes, there are protests and there definitely need to be happening. But what's happening on the other side too, like where the new bills are going into place or where cities are changing how their police forces are, this is something that's also happening that's really important. And we do this together. And we have to keep raising our voice, and we have to keep making sure that we're not allowing these atrocities to happen to our brothers and sisters, because when they happen to them, they're also happening to us. We have to remember that. So anyways, that was the main message and really why I wanted to do a quick video for you. The other thing, let's just check in and see if there's anything that the Violet Guides really, I don't know what to call them, what they want to say. So let's just check in. I have a candle lit here, and I always have my crystal. I always hold this crystal for some reason whenever I do readings or whenever I connect to spirit. So just, okay, I'm seeing 4, again, they're still shrouded in this dark violet. And dark not meaning bad. They were introduced to me by Angel Uriel. They are actually really lovely. The reason why I can't see them is that it has something to do with not being at the same level as them. They are really working to kind of get down to our level so that they can be seen and share a message. In this 3D world, you know what a struggle it can be sometimes. So let's see. Okay, it's like they're holding a treasure box. They're holding a gold, it's a gold box. It's about the size of a jewelry box. And they've opened the lid. And it looks like puzzle pieces. It looks like there's they're shiny, like iridescent. Yeah, it looks like they all interlock and go together. So I don't know if it's so much puzzle pieces because they feel like they are more three-dimensional and that they might interlock together, but it's almost like this incandescent, iridescent metal. They look like letters or like chunks, big, but they're like little blocks, but looks like they fit together. Okay. So, all right. So, okay, so they're showing that they interlock together and then that they spread wide. So not only do they interlock together, but then the beauty, it's almost like it's this dark silvery metal, kind of that is iridescent. It has kind of, it looks like an oil slick a little bit, but on a really dark metal. Okay, and it stands, it like goes to either end and there is no end to it. It's like it goes to infinity. this iridescent, um, now it's just shiny clear. There's no, you don't see the individual puzzle pieces anymore. You just see this big, beautiful, almost like a big mural that goes on and on and on and on. Okay, so they're showing that some people will want to like break it. So it's almost like they're talking about um, us as the, us as human beings, or maybe just, yeah, okay, Earth souls. Let's just call it that, Earth souls. And that sometimes some people will come and try and break it, or to tinker with it, to punch holes in it. And they have to, it's very highly specialized in order to do that, because this is a really strong, tough metal that is not of this world. And it's almost like if the little dent is made, they're showing like a square block kind of punched into it. If somebody tries to change it, then it will have a little bit of an indentation, and then it slowly is kind of self-healing. So it's a self-healing type of metal. It's, are you thinking of Terminator? But it's not, because it's not shiny silver. But it does, it comes back together, kind of like how the Terminator did. I don't know why that came in my head. Okay, so all right, so what they're showing is that it doesn't matter what these, it's almost like that it's alien energy, I guess the best way to describe it, of these light alien beings that are coming, trying to attack it, trying to hurt it. And it doesn't really do anything, because everybody, it's almost like the individual, you can see like the individual parts now that were collected together, they almost break up and you can see the individual parts, and then slowly it starts to heal again. So it's almost like this piece of metal can break up, and then what they're showing is after it's all super clear and shiny and no dents or anything in it that have been healed. I like that word, healed. Okay, so it then starts to dissipate, and it turns into these little beautiful dots of colored lights. And then it comes back together again, and it's more white light. So, okay, so the message is, once again, there will be these programs, there will be these things that will try and break you down. And as an individual, if you try and battle this alone, it will be slower to heal. It will still be healed. You can still heal it, but it's easier when it is done together. And there are groups of people that are also programmed. So obviously families, but there's also, they're showing like groups of people that are programmed, and they can be healed, but it's almost like the collective of, it's all together, the metal comes in to heal it, heal the part that's hurt. It's not the individual pieces of it. So it's really showing how together we can work and heal really mankind, and we can do it together. So much easier than just by ourselves. And so the beauty of that is that we do become light. We do recognize what we truly are is light, divine light. I think that's it. I'm not, Yeah, they're just bowing. I think that's just the message for today. Short, sweet. So remember you're not alone, and remember we're in this together. And I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.